The Likebook Mars features a 7.8-inch e-ink Carta touchscreen display with a resolution of 1782 by 1448. It has 300 ppi. It has a frontlit display and 17 LED lights. Some of them are white, others are orange. Underneath the hood is an 8-core 1.5 gigahertz processor with 2 gigs of RAM, 16 gigs of internal storage, and an SD card capable of an additional 32 gigs. It has support for Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and audio via a 3.5mm headphone jack, and is running Android 6.0, which is fairly modern by e-reader standards. The Likebook Mars is doing something very innovative when it comes to the home screen and the main screens. Seldom do we see something where books, apps, reading statistics, and quotes are on a singular screen. Whatever app you initiate will suddenly take its place on the main home screen here. So these are the apps that we've recently launched. You have recently read as well as recently added. These include books that you would sideload into your device as well. This is the book screen, which is basically your library. There's 4 different settings that you can initiate to augment the views. So suddenly cover art is about half the size. You can go to like list view, or you can go to a more condensed list view. This is useful for people who have big libraries with a ton of titles. And bookshelf settings. You can filter by books that you are in the process of reading.
Or ones that you've read.
Yeah, read, unread, reading time, things like that. Ascending, descending. Apps tab instantly loads thanks to the quad-core octa-core processor.
Octa-core processor. This is where all your apps are going to be. Anything that you've side-loaded, you can long press, and it gives you a lot of different options to change things, uninstall, application automatically turns off full screen mode, etc. This is the Kindle Lite app. It's basically a stripped-down version of the full Kindle app. There are no animated page turn animations. There's actually not even long presses or notes or x-ray or translation or dictionaries or anything on this. Actually, you only get 2 little things here. You get night mode on, which reverses the blacks and whites, and you get font size. Now the thing about font size is that once it loads here, when you change the font size and then click save, it actually has to go through the entire book to change every page to that respective font size. And this allows you to have such a low total MB size, but still be able to read immediately with your ebooks. Just a quick how-to on A2 mode. You'll see a refresh button here. This is actually the full resolution mode, but if you do it on A2 mode, it actually gets a lot quicker.
Yes, A2 mode is something that people employ when they're not using Freescale processors and e-ink Wriggle. It basically makes it so it's easier to scroll. But you can see that with A2 mode that it doesn't really decrease the resolution of the pictures here. We can just turn it on really quick. So you can see that it looks a little bit better when A2 mode is off. But when it's on, it still looks pretty good. This is Firefox Rocket, very lightweight app. As you can see, scrolling super fast. But the most impressive element is when you actually click on a website and its loading speed.
Boom. 2 maybe 3 seconds. This is the e-reader application that came with the device. You can download anything you want, of course, but this is just the default one. Page turns are pretty quick. You can tap, you can swipe. Long pressing on something brings up your copy, underline, annotation, wiki, dictionary, so you can do a lot of changes that way. If you click in the center, you get some text changes, so you get system default for fonts. You can change the font size. Everything changes live in the background. It's very quick. It doesn't have to go through the whole book and say, loading. You have a lot of different typesets for margins and line spacing. You have contrast for both weights of a picture, and it'll just isolate the pictures, or weight of the words itself. And this is the first e-reader that has ever done that, had separate contrast levels, so you can actually keep the pictures really harsh and the text really light. You have auto page or Chrome. It's just an auto page changer, so you can set it to however many seconds you want, and horizontal screen, because this doesn't have a gyroscope. You have a lot of different ways to change pages, and you have fast mode, which is effectively A2 mode.
Many e-readers that have Android often have very limited settings menu, a Wi-Fi, wiping the device off of all content, but Boyue is actually incorporating many different features in here. There's a lot of settings here that allow you pretty well unparalleled flexibility to be able to really make this e-reader your own. It's the first e-reader ever with an octa-core processor. It has more RAM than most other e-readers on the market. It's using Android 6.0 in terms of e-readers. It's about the latest version that is supported. It's the latest version of Android that still has e-reader and e-ink functionality built into it. That the home screen and all the menus are laid out. It's not needlessly confusing. Everything instantly loads. Light apps are absolutely perfect. If there's any flaws, I believe it's the lack of built-in dictionaries with the default e-reading app and the lack of fonts. It also doesn't have a built-in app store, so it makes it a little bit difficult for casual users to find out how you actually download apps, whether you sideload them or download alternative app stores. Our app store was sideloaded on this device, so it makes it accessible for about 100,000 apps or so. So this has been a very comprehensive review of the Likebook Mars. This is the first great e-reader of 2018. Drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this device, and stay tuned to our YouTube channel for more coverage on the Likebook Mars and for a review of this product. My name is Michael.
This is Peter.
Everybody take care.